Pack your bags right away because there will be sudden destruction close to your home tonight. My child, you might have heard talks of this day, especially after the blood moon and solar eclipse, and now people are speaking of a possible rapture tonight or tomorrow. But I, the Lord your God, say to you, are you feeling fear from these talks, or are you feeling ready? My child, do not let your heart race so quickly that you forget to breathe. I speak to you now not to frighten you more, but to stabilize you like a hand on your shoulder. I understand the images you have seen, the things you have heard, the uneasy anticipation that turns your thoughts into a tempest. I know about the moon that appeared red, the sun that was hidden, and the voices that proclaim the world's end is near. I know how small you feel when the sky seems tumultuous. Come near and hear me clearly. First, listen. Fear is an echo. It strengthens when you nourish it with your own reflections and the loud discussions of people who argue and predict. Fear wants you to run without considering, to decide out of panic, to ignore the needs of those around you. But I instruct you now, take a breath and think. A peaceful heart perceives better than a frenzied mind. Do not let hearsay be the illumination by which you live. Assess the silence, measure your movements, and keep your grip firm. Prepare, certainly, but prepare with prudence. Pack your bags if your inner self guides you to, but do not do so in such haste that you forget essential items. Take what is important, the small volume of prayers you keep folded, a written collection of the names you cherish, medications that keep the bodies of your loved ones steady, water, a source of light, and something to cover up if it gets cold. Take some food, not to stockpile but to share. Bring footwear that fits well, a light source that guides your way, and a small amount of currency for necessities. Fold a large cloth for warmth. Have a record of contact information written on paper for when communication systems are disrupted. Keep copies of important documents together. Nothing weighty. Nothing that will make your hands sore when you need to move quickly. But understand me more deeply. The most valuable possessions do not fit into a sack. Do not forget the faces of those you care for. Do not forget the embrace of forgiveness. Do not forget the names of those who are alone and those who are scared. Do not forget the small acts of kindness you can perform while your feet are still on the ground. A loving heart is a light that no darkness can extinguish. If you are tempted to run off like a restless wind, first find one neighbor. Ask if they have what they require. Share what you possess during these times. A single warm serving of food passed from person to person is a sign of grace. Do not choose to be isolated. There is power in human connection that the arrogant do not recognize. Gather a small group, discuss your plans, and make sure someone knows where you are heading. Carry the names of those who have difficulty moving, the elderly, the ill, children, and bring them along or create a strategy to help them. Prudence moves in unity. Do not be influenced by voices that promise exclusive knowledge. There are many who enjoy speaking of signs and hidden truths, and their words cause trembling. Evaluate what is said against compassion. If a message only brings terror, it is not from me. If it inspires you to assist your fellow man, if it teaches you to be gentle, if it calls you to bravery without being harsh, then pay attention. Let love be the standard. I tell you this because panic makes you sharp and unfeeling. It makes you forget the principles of goodness. In a period that may be difficult, share as much as you can. Do not find comfort for yourself by taking from another. Hold firmly to truthfulness in your communication. If you are afraid and have a need, ask directly. People will listen, and some will respond. There is profound goodness in the world still. Neighbors who will open their doors, hands that will support, and voices that will pray with you. Sit quietly for a moment and reflect on mercy. Remember that you were created for more than just survival. You were made to love and to be loved. You were made to turn in your time of need and find me there. When the earth seems to shake beneath your feet, focus your efforts on helping others. Do not let fear turn you inward into selfishness. Let it move you outward into mercy. I am with those who are grieving tonight. I am with those who are watching their devices for information, and with those who stand in the quiet and contemplate the faces of their family. I am with those whose faithfulness is being tested like metal in a furnace. I do not ask you to be brave for my sake. You are brave because you have been loved. Let that affection be the origin of your courage. Let your small acts of compassion be an answer to every voice that would claim that everything is lost. My child, hear me now. When you follow my word, your footing is stable, even when the road is rough. I speak plainly. Those who carry my teachings in their hearts do not walk alone. My word is a guide for your steps and a light for your path. It does not magically shorten the journey, but it makes every step certain. I do not guarantee that the journey will be without sadness or hardship. Difficulties will arrive, and pressures will push against you. But my word will be the safety line you grasp when the flow pushes. It will be the hand that reaches for yours when you cannot ascend. Keep it near, and your steps will discover the way. To live by my word is to let love be more tangible than apprehension. It is to let compassion and kindness define your days. Those who live by these small choices, speaking honestly with tenderness, sharing food without calculating the cost, assisting the vulnerable. These are the ones I call my beloved. They are not flawless. They make mistakes. They forget, but they return. They keep getting up. I see their souls. I recognize the effort in every choice to be loving. That commitment matters to me more than impressive declarations. Minor actions performed with care are highly valued in my perspective. Do not judge faithfulness by loud spectacles or dramatic abilities. Many who are humble and quiet possess a profound belief that appears insignificant outwardly. A mother who gets up in the night to comfort an unwell child. A person who remains principled in their work even when tempted. A neighbor who sits with someone who is grieving. These lives are precious in my eyes. They may not be celebrated publicly, but they are near to me. Their names are recorded where I keep treasured things. They will discover the entrance open in the end because they chose love repeatedly. I am not oblivious to your uncertainties. Sometimes you question if following my word is enough. If it is too simple to speak and then be welcomed. Yes, following my word is the route that leads to my dwelling. It is not a permit purchased by good actions alone, but a lively connection with me. When you allow my teaching to shape you, you learn to care for the lost, to forgive the person who wronged you, to provide help without keeping a tally. These are the indicators of a soul that has encountered me. I embrace such souls. I do not record your past mistakes in a notebook and then lock the entrance. I observe the character of your life and the inclination of your will toward compassion. Do not think that my affection is minimal or restrictive. It is vast and profound. My mercy extends further than fear suggests it can. Those who follow my teaching recognize this, not because they never experienced doubt, but because they have learned to place that uncertainty next to a solemn promise. They speak thoughtfully and listen more frequently. They do not boast. They are humble. Humility is not a weakness. It is the solid strength of a spirit that trusts me more than the loud assertions of arrogance. Humility opens the passage into my presence. I will inform you clearly about hardships. Some who follow my teaching will face rejection. Friends will turn away. Employment will be lost. Aspects of life will shatter. Do not be surprised when difficulty arrives. It affects even those who are closest to me. Yet, difficulties embraced with faith are not fruitless. They instill patience and cultivate compassion. They expand your capacity to support others who are in pain. The scars you carry can become the guidance that leads someone else through darkness. Do not be hesitant to acknowledge your errors. When you are honest about what you did incorrectly and try to correct it, you are putting into practice what my teaching instructs. Repentance is not merely regret. It is the formation of a fresh direction. It is the brave action of declaring, I will try once more. And when you attempt it again, I will meet you there. I will support your effort. This is how the humble are welcomed. They acknowledge their need and seek assistance. There is a fierce devotion in me for the vulnerable, the wounded, those who have been marginalized. When you follow my teaching, your heart will feel for them, too. You will consider your own comforts less vital than offering aid to another. This does not mean you neglect yourself, but that your care extends to encompass others. To support the oppressed is to stand with me. I take no satisfaction in the suffering of anyone. When you assist the hurting, you are performing an act that resonates in the heavens. If you find that your belief has become weak, do not conceal that weakness. Bring it to me like a fractured light source. Even a damaged light source gives illumination when you add oil to it. Bring your confusion. Bring your frustration. Bring your uncertainty. Speak with sincerity, for my attention is vast and patient. I do not demand that you never feel worried. I ask only that you bring your fear here and let it be transformed. Faith grows not by pretending to be free of anxiety, but by walking with me through the anxiety. Do not be careless about your physical well-being either. If you have prescribed remedies, take them exactly as instructed. If someone suggests an action that could harm your body, politely refuse. Consult with those who know the truth, not the loudest gossip. Keep water clean and covered. Store food where it will remain fresh. Place fire sources securely in a safe location. Keep small children away from heavily trafficked entrances. These are not superstitions. These are simple acts of caution that prevent people from getting hurt. Value your body and the bodies of others with the same intensity with which you value your spirit. Find a quiet location for reflection where the atmosphere is not so filled with panic that you cannot draw breath. Go there with others when possible. Let your reflections be straightforward. Assistance for the ill, comfort for those who mourn, insight for those who must lead. If you cannot speak, sit silently and listen. Reflection is not always talking. Sometimes it is an attentive waiting that hears a more profound message. If you are asked challenging questions about future events, answer with honesty and compassion. Do not fuel apprehension with narratives you cannot confirm. Say instead that you do not possess all the answers, but you are ready to help. Teach those around you to extinguish the small sparks of rumor. Remind them to check on one another. Remind them to hold hands with those who cannot move quickly. Teach the children comforting songs. Let the elders share stories that plant courage in young souls. Share simple recipes for nourishment and kindness. In these small, everyday actions, grace resides. Remember the power of forgiveness tonight. If there has been resentment in your household, release it like a weight from your shoulders. Seek pardon where it is necessary. Grant pardon when you are able. It is easier to carry a bag than a grievance. When you let go of animosity, you free your hands to assist. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is choosing to live with less burden so that you may move quickly if you are required to. Such reaching out brings you closer. Some will claim that those who follow well are distinguished by outward displays, by affluence, by comfort. Do not believe that. I judge the heart, not the external appearance. I see the quiet hours of reflection, the giving that goes unnoticed, the compassion shown privately. These unseen acts construct a life that is prepared for my dwelling. Do not be discouraged if your life seems ordinary. The seed placed in the earth appears lifeless, but it is alive, and in the right season it will grow. Patience and quiet belief are more potent than an arrogant display. Remember that equity is important. My teaching calls you to advocate for the poor, to speak for those who cannot speak for themselves, to feed the hungry. Following my teaching involves pursuing justice with mercy. If you use my name to oppress someone else, you have strayed from the path. The entrance to my house opens wide for those who stand with the humble and carry their necessities like a beacon. Your belief must reach outward as well as upward. Be gentle with yourself and with others. Arrogance makes the soul fragile. When you judge others harshly, you wound yourself. Kindness heals. If someone makes a mistake, show them the same grace you have pleaded for from me. Do not pretend to be more virtuous than you are. Do not base your spiritual practice on the failings of another. Instead, support the fallen, nurture their hope, and walk with them home. I do not demand an exhibition of vast knowledge.
Oil. Let learning lead to providing food, to assisting the sick, to offering shelter to those without a home. Knowledge that does not result in love is hollow. Engage in acts of service, and your feet will discover the correct path. There is a fellowship among those who follow my word. You do not travel alone. Seek out companions who will support you when you stumble and whom you can encourage when they are weak. Be slow to become upset. Be quick to pardon. Do not allow insignificant disagreements to separate you. The example of a loving community is one of the clearest indications of living in my way. When you come together, pray for one another, share burdens, and celebrate with each other. Joy that is shared multiplies. Sadness that is shared becomes lighter. I will also speak of resilience. Many begin the journey with enthusiasm, but eventually become tired. Resilience is not the same as being stubborn. It is the quiet choice to persist in love, even when the excitement has disappeared. It is tending the flame day after day. To persevere is to trust me through the small routines, to get back up, to speak gently, to choose compassion even when you are exhausted. The minor choices build a life that can find rest in me. Do not be worried about who will or will not be with you at the end. My methods are not always the ways of people. I operate in secret, and I call those whom I choose. Your purpose is to be faithful, to be loving, to keep my word alive through your actions. The rest is my responsibility. Trust me with the final reckoning. You are not required to judge another person's soul. Your task is to be a source of light. If you fear losing your dwelling, remember that a house is not the measure of your worth. Your value is not found in the materials of a building. but in the breath that gives expression to love. If you must abandon a house, leave it with a blessing. Say out loud that it was a place of learning, that it contained happiness, that it offered safety to the young. Do not let regret immobilize you. Look instead to the small items you can carry. The small metal utensil from a beloved elder, the ribbon from a celebration, the volume with a page marked by a child's finger. These objects hold your heart in ways that money cannot. Do not neglect the little ones. Children will ask questions that seem too large for their understanding. Answer them with truth presented in small portions. Tell them you are with them. Tell them tales of kindness from the past. Hold their hands and let them feel the rhythm of your breathing. They do not require complete explanations. They need a steady presence. Your calmness becomes their calmness, and together you will know that love is more expansive than fear. Care for the animals as well. They are gifts placed in your care. Keep them secure gently. Do not abandon them because you are worried about what others might say. Those who have belief are known by the gentleness they show to the smallest of living things. If you must depart with only a few items, take water for the animals, cover them, and let them hear the sound of your voice. It offers them comfort as well. If someone tells you that punishment has arrived, do not listen to voices that name individuals and call for anger. Punishment spoken by people is a justification for cruelty. Justice must be applied with patience, and mercy with careful hands. If there is harm, do not return it with harm. Attend to injuries, soothe burned skin, give water to dry lips, and call for assistance. Let the established order do what it is intended to do. Let your hand do what mercy is intended to do. Do not give up hope over what you cannot fix. There will be circumstances beyond your ability. There will be nights that feel long and mornings that feel empty. In those moments, keep a small source of light in your heart. Recall a melody you learned as a child. The way rain smells on dry soil. The face of someone who loved you well. These things are anchors. They bring you back to yourself and to me. If you are a leader, be wise and speak clearly. Provide simple instructions that will keep people safe. Avoid grand addresses that incite panic. Remember that to lead is to carry the needs of others before your own. Designate assistants. Make sure those assistants are chosen for their calm demeanor and clear thinking, not just for their loud opinions. A leader who listens is more powerful than one who shouts. If you are alone, do not assume that you are forgotten. There are hands reaching across the distance. Find ways to connect. A neighbor, a phone, a secure meeting spot. Ask for assistance and offer the help you can. Loneliness turns fear into a cold shadow, but even a single conversation can bring light through a crack. Be brave enough to ask for companionship. I do not ask you to be free of sadness. Sorrow is a testament to love. It means you cared. Grieve honestly and tenderly. Let others grieve with you. Weep without shame. Tears cleanse the heart and make room for new growth. When you have wept, get up again and attend to the small responsibilities. Grief and duty can coexist if you allow them. When the moment of departure arrives, do so with gratitude for what was good. Say aloud the names of those who showed you compassion. Bless the hands that provided for you. Bless the spaces that kept you warm. Leave a mark of love wherever you go. Blessings travel with people like seeds. They will sprout where you plant them. I am with you in the dark and in the light. I am closer than your next breath. I support you when you do not know how to stand. When you pack your bag, place a memory of kindness inside. When you step outside the door, put a promise of mercy in your pocket. Carry the small songs that steady you. Speak well of others. Offer help quietly. Love loudly. Go now with these words in your heart. Be cautious. Be wise. Be kind. Get rest when you can. Take a break when you must. Keep watch when others cannot. And remember, no night is endless and no suffering is final. The morning will arrive in its own time. And when it does, you will find new work to do, hands to join, and much to rebuild. Until then, hold tightly to love. It is your true sanctuary. Amen.